morning everyone, sun's out and welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph. Today we're going to be checking out this little azalea. I've had it for, I don't know, 12 months if that, and I've done a little bit of pruning on it. It might even be a little bit longer than that, because you can tell I've cleared it all out and I've got it in some sort of shape ready to go for future development. Now today we're just going to get it out of the nursery soil and put it in some sort of decent soil, aka my bonsai mix, and put it in some sort of grow pot, a training pot as you were. So I was thinking maybe a terracotta pot, because I'm running low on the old baskets. I've only got really big ones, but I have got one because I had two accidents over the winter, big ones, the polytunnels you've probably seen, and because of those I've had two little accidents in terms of trees dying. Not really big ones, not ones that I consider really nice trees. It was one of the beech was one of them, and then I've had a little gum tree as well. So if you give me a minute, I'll show you those. Like magic, I'm back. Now the beech tree, which is here, it is still green underneath. Now I had trouble with it last year, so it's not officially dead, not quite yet, but the top has died off. So after the storms, it was left out, toppled over, the roots are exposed, so it is slowly dying back. So I don't really have much hope that it is going to survive. I have done a scratch test. It is still green on the trunk, but as I say, it's slowly dying from the top down. So it's not officially dead quite yet, but it's getting there. So soon, not quite yet, but soon I'm going to be robbing this basket once it eventually does die. Now I've had problems with this in the past. It hasn't sprouted out properly for 18 months, and we did a repot on it to try and save it, and hopefully it was because of the roots. But with the root damage over the winter, I don't see it surviving. So I'm going to class it as dead, although I'm not going to get rid of it just yet. But my little gum tree, as you can see, completely perished, whereas I do have another little gum tree that is quite healthy, very healthy. In fact, that it needs a repot, and I will be doing a full video on that. I've got two of these. This is one of them that died. I don't really know too much about these, except they're a tropical. You got to keep them inside, and I left this one over winter in the polytunnel as an experiment. Experiment failed because the polytunnel died off. In fact, I left them both outside. I'm not going to lie to you, as an experiment. One of them survived because the polytunnel, well, the polytunnel failed, but this one got the brunt of all the frost. The other one didn't. It's still okay. I brought it in at the last part for all the frost. So they can survive if you're interested outside. But yeah, this one got killed off with the frost. So I've got a spare pot with that. It's not big enough for this one, although the pond basket with the beech is, but I'm not going to quite rob it yet. So I think we're going to go with one of these terracottas. I've got a slightly bigger one as well than this, but I think this should do quite nicely. It's the similar sort of size of what we've got, only it's better because obviously terracotta, it absorbs the water out if it's got too moist, and it'll look quite nice with this as well, with a colour gradient against it. It's a flowering tree, got a nice terracotta, so it'll look quite nice. This is going to be an easy repot. No dramas, no worries. I feel like we're going to have an easy time with this, and I feel the roots are going to be perfect on this one. Who am I kidding? I don't have any such luck when it comes to repotting, especially nursery trees. So let's try and use the root rake for this one. Let's try something different. So we're going to come in, go around radial like we normally do, and we're going to come in, take all this moss off top, and we're going to check out, see if we've got a nice radial root system. Wouldn't it be nice if we just did, and there would be no issues. Doesn't sound like my trees though, especially when you buy them from a garden centre. Well, history of this tree, as I say, I've had it for about, I don't know, 12 months, 18 months. I've done basic prune. So I originally, if I look at it, you can see I've done a basic styling of it. I've got a first branch down here. I trimmed it right, so it was a big bush originally, and I trimmed it right back, come down, and I did a prune, and I pruned everything off and just left branches. And I came down, and then these have all shot up last summer. So we've got the original branching, first, second branch here, and then they split off the main trunk line, and I've got individual branches coming off there as well. So it's got a nice shape to it already. And then now we've just got to come in, check out the roots. I know that the azaleas love a nice acidic roots soil for the roots, but my soil isn't going to be acidic. So I'll probably, if there is an adverse effect with the roots, or if the tree starts getting a bit poorly, I'll have to add some additives to my soil. But we'll come to that down the line. Once we've repotted it, man, there's loads and loads of weeds in this. So I'm going to continue messing about with these roots, and once I've got all the soil out, just look at these roots, these weeds. Once I've got all the soil out, I'll come back to you, because I'm going to be here for a while. The soil's horrid. Everything's washed out, and now it's in just a bit of a big clump, so let's give it a little bit of a raking out, see what we can do with these. Let's get in there, see if we can get it raked out radially. So the bottom section's not too bad. Once it's raked out, the root system actually looks quite decent. I've got roots from every angle. All this top section here, this has all got to go. Everything just grows up, so I don't want that, nor do I need it. We want it radially, we want it coming flat outwards, so it's all going to come off. So all that just has to be removed. Once it's gone, we can start looking at where the roots actually come from. So these are a bit thick, and now that the base, so they have to just come off. Get me rake in there, and now we can see that these are actually coming from the base, and they're actually a bit more radial. And then I've got this root here. I've got another chunk just here, which is a bit bulbous. It's in the same sort of direction, bulbousy, and then it's turning around. So I can just snip that off. And then I've got another lot of bulbous bits here. It's too high and it's growing upwards. We can take those off. And then the same again just here. Let's take that one off. Got another bulbous bit here. Just want to come and take and remove, eliminate it. Now if I can get under, I might be able to just make everything a bit radial for the bottom. See if we can separate it all. Managed to spread them out. The root system is radial. It's a bit dirty, but I'm not too concerned about that. The system is radial. So I'm just going to give it a quick wash, and then we'll get it potted up. Now, even washing the roots out, they are quite brittle, and I've snapped a couple more as well, which I didn't realise that the azalea's root system is so brittle. So I've put a load of sphagnum moss just around the root system. So I want to get some more. I'm going to put them just here, and then I'm going to put some more sphagnum moss just alongside, as much as I've got, just out of the tray. As I say, I've got loads of sphagnum moss in this mix, so I'm not too concerned about the amount of sphagnum moss going into it. And then I'm topping it all up. I'm burying it deeper than I would normally, just to secure this in the pot. And then lift it up a little bit, showing it's nice and secure in there. I'm not wiring this in, but I will just put a couple of harder stones on there, just to make sure, doubly sure, that it stays in place and it's not going to wobble around. I'm just going to water that in. Yeah, I'm just going to start by removing some of these branches as well that I don't need, just to help the tree to recover and it's not putting too much energy out. So I'm not going to need this big section at the back here. So I've got one here, that one, let's make that disappear. Take that out, open it up. Nice back area. I'm not going to need that one. That can go. I can either have that as my front, or I'm going to take it just here. I think that's what we're going to do, which means I'm going to take that one out completely. So I'm going to have this as my front, just there. In that case, we can also eliminate that one in the middle. I like the way everything else is growing so far. Shouldn't have to take any much more. That'll do, I think. It's not put too much effort into growing anything else. It's taking the right amount off. This one may come off eventually. It's probably a little bit too high. In fact, let's do that now as well. There we go. Well, I tell you what, it's getting really warm out here now. The sun is literally just, well, it's just there beaming down on my face. Woohoo! Anyway, enough of the sun. More on my little azalea. Look at it. It's looking pretty cool. I've never really worked on one of these before. I've never owned one. So for me, this is an experiment. If it dies off, you know, I'll be pretty sad. But I'm learning on these. So if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, happy days. I'm learning. Don't forget that. If I'm making mistakes, let me know. I'm concerned I've took too much off the roots on this one. But if I haven't, and they can take this, you know, I can do it again. But if I've taken too much off and it dies off, you know, I'll learn for the next one that I buy and we'll go again. But I'm sure you guys are going to tell me, aren't you, I've taken too much off. So if you like it, please do give me a like, leave me a comment, slaughter me in the comments to tell me I've gone hard, too hard, and it's going to die because I've took too much off on the roots. Well, that's what I'm expecting, but go on, roast me. If you like what I'm doing on the channel, experimenting, doing things wrong, doing things right, go ahead, subscribe. Make my day, make your day. Follow this idiot on YouTube. And thanks for watching. Go out there, experiment, play with your bonsai trees, get things wrong, just like me. Get things right, just like me. Happy accidents, big mistakes. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ra!